Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And with that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records. From indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records. Supporting the community, one track at a time. All right, thank y'all so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
Hi, I'm Taylor Alyssa.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us.
Excited to be here.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, what you do. Give us that Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
I'm originally from the Bay Area in California.
Oh, cool. Where at?
Yeah, East Bay.
Gotcha.
Familiar?
Sunnyvale.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was born in Mountain View.
I lived in Mountain View before Sunnyvale.
Nice. Yeah.
What brought you up to here?
Business opportunity. The main job, and then I, realized how diverse. Actually, I realized how much Portland was super into the arts, and I was like, okay, this is kind of my chance to maybe really dive into music, and then dove into it and jumped headfirst.
Oh yeah, I love that. Now, what got you into music initially?
So I have been singing for as long as I can remember. My parents said as soon as I could talk that I was just singing nonstop.
Gotcha.
I remember singing in the car with my mom, and nobody in my family actually plays a bunch of instruments. My dad did when he was a kid, but not really when I was growing up. So kind of growing up in the church a little bit, worship team was kind of where my first exposure was to music.
Gotcha.
And so I would write music to express and kind of understand the different feelings and, process thoughts. But I picked up a guitar when I was, an early teen and took an AP music theory class in high school and loved it and taught myself piano. And kind of went from there. So started learning how, the melodies I would sing, figuring out how to translate that to piano chords. And then, understanding those in guitar chords, and picked up the ukulele. And
gotcha.
Yeah, it's been a fun journey.
Okay, hell yeah, I dig that. Now, before we get into more of what you do with music in the present day, I do have a couple foundation questions I like to check in with everybody on. This first one's one we ask early, it's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
Oh, that's good. I think it was a Beyonce album.
Okay. Yeah. Quality start.
One.
Yep. I dig that. What made you decide to pick that one? I mean, other than the obvious answer.
Yeah, well, I love the rawness in her voice, the power. I love powerhouse vocalists like Christina Aguilera, Beyonce, Whitney Houston, Demi Lovato, just the... it's just so real, so raw, soulful. You can feel the emotion on just it. Those were the type of music that I always gravitated towards.
Gotcha.
And so that was from my childhood what I remember.
Hell yeah, I dig that. And then what was one of the first live shows you ever went to that was specifically one you wanted to go to? So you saw what was happening, you got the tickets, you went to it.
Yeah. Honestly, Jhené Aiko.
Oh, cool.
A year ago. It's so bad. Cool. I know.
Hell yeah, I dig that. Yeah. Hey, that's, everybody has this weird preconceived notion that you have to have gone to some big show by the time you're 9.
Yeah.
I think whenever you go is not really the issue, but which one it is always the fun part to know.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
She was barefoot, feeling the music, interacting with her audience, and just present.
I heard very good things about that show.
Yeah, it was an incredible show.
Hell yeah, I love that. And then before we officially get into it, do you have a defining moment where you decided you wanted to take music more seriously?
Yes, I do. It was last year, around this time, actually probably around last June.
Around a Jhené Aiko concert? No, I'm kidding.
Jhené Aiko was
I think that was
November, something like that. But I was at a point in my life where, I was comfortable with my job. I was exploring all the different sides of me that I wanted to see, what is left to just grow, discover, develop. What is something like, I think I was just at a point of like, what's next and what do I truly want to do with my life? And there was a lot of things going on with family and had lost a couple of, grandparents, and was really like, okay, like what would make them proud and what would make myself proud too?
Yeah.
And just kind of was like, I've always wanted to pursue music. Why not go for it? What is stopping me? What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
So
no, I love that.
Let's just do it.
Well, and it sounds like, you have some kind of like job happening in regular time as well.
Yes.
So if you have a good enough job that it's willing to move for, you're in a place that supports creative arts and you are a creative artistic person yourself. Sounds like you got it all lined up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, let's go ahead then. Let's get on into the now. Now we are going to get what I imagine is a very easy one out of the way first. How did you pick your artist name?
My full name is Taylor Alyssa Wong.
Ah, okay.
I just picked my first and middle name.
Gotcha. I had a feeling it was something along those lines. Now, why did you end up going with that over like a made up name?
Yeah, I wrestled with that for a long time, to be honest, because I was playing with different names. None of them really felt authentic to me, but I also didn't want to use my government name because I wanted to keep my professional life still separate from my music artist life. And Taylor was just always, it's still who I am. It's what I go by. So I just was like, let's just use my name, because I would say, my whole brand is based off of authenticity and vulnerability and just who you are. And also you can do more than just one thing.
Yeah.
You're not put in a box. You don't have to just do the job or just the arts. You can be very diverse. You can be the strong, independent woman, but also still have a healthy relationship. You can be, a first generation kid in America and pursue a great career, but still pursue those creative passions as well, because it's still part of who you are. So I guess it was me just wanting to still hold on to who I am, but just show a different side of myself, which is why I used my middle name as my second.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I always do this bit where I break down names. So now that's happening here. I appreciate that. Two very easy names to remember. Two very comfortable, familiar names. Two just as names are, and they're not spelled weird. You didn't put two Y's in Alyssa. So they're easy to spell. They're easy to remember. It sounds comfy. It looks good as a written thing. So I mean, all in all, I think you nailed it as far as a good name goes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. But now let's go ahead and let's talk about your writing process.
Ooh,
and we're going to break it up into chunks, but we're going to start right at the beginning.
Okay.
So when you get inspired, you're ready to make music. What do you do to get a track started?
First thing I do is I honestly write the lyrics. So I also love to write poetry.
Ah, gotcha.
So
Okay.
I'll write what I'm feeling out, and I don't know what parts go into the song until I've kind of word dumped onto my notes app or a piece of paper, a journal. And then I'll kind of reflect and say, okay, what parts are, on it, what's the hook, but what's the theme of what I'm trying to get across? And I like to frame it as a story and start, what am I trying to say? And then the conflict, and then have a resolution of okay, what is the silver lining? What is it that I learned through this? I might not have been the best experience that I wanted to go through, but what did I need to experience in order to now have a greater appreciation for something else, or let somebody else know that just because they went through this struggle does not mean that they're defeated or that it defines you, that they can go through this struggle and come out stronger on the other end. And then also if they hear my music and hear what I'm actually saying, that they're not alone, and that they can also identify and say, okay, they went through that. And it was maybe not a great time, but when you have those, rainy days, it definitely helps you appreciate the good days and all the other things that you're grateful for in your life. So the process of writing is I first start writing a poem, and then I pick out those pieces that really help tell that story. And then I make it into a song, normally with a verse and a pre-chorus, chorus, whatnot. And then I go to the piano or guitar and I just play around with different chord progressions.
So you write a full song pretty much before you even get to the music side of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a definitely a unique way of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I could the first portion of it I could understand finding jumping off points through the poetry to make music out of and then going to your instrument. But to flesh out almost an entire song lyrics wise before like even sitting down at an instrument, that is really interesting. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to get that clarity point. Please continue.
Yeah. I had been around musicians, I would say just in choir. I was in choir in high school, but I hadn't been as an adult or just like, seeing how other people put music together. So I just kind of did it the way that I thought would work. So I sit down at a piano or a guitar and I play around with chords, and based off of it's like more of a ballad, I'll say, okay, well, what melodically sounds good where like I'll add in a minor chord, and see what feels good. And kind of pull from that music theory knowledge that I had of what resolves and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess when you got into AP theory, like, a couple things.
Yeah, from what I could remember. Yes. But then I'll just kind of hum and play around and freestyle and see what melodies come to me. And then I'll record voice memos on my phone and just listen back. I'm like, okay, I really liked that one. That one stuck out. And then I'll just go with it. And yeah.
Damn. Okay, that's rad. Now, when it comes to getting the words down, it sounds like you're not too picky about what media you use to get the words onto something. But do you have like a preferred, like, do you like to write it more than type it? Or like, are you all the way in your phone as much as possible? Like, what's the most comfortable way for you?
The most comfortable way would be in my notes app on my phone.
Okay.
But then once I've finalized it, I like to handwrite it into this one journal that I've kept for like over 10 years.
Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's going to be worth so much money when you're famous. No, I'm kidding. And then once you get a track finished writing, so it doesn't have to be like recorded, but you're ready to memorize it, start getting it out there. How long does it usually take you to feel comfortable enough to perform a song?
Okay. So I have a guilty confession. I don't say I love procrastinating, but I feel like it gives me a good sense of urgency sometimes to get something done.
I mean, if you wait till the last minute, it only takes a minute to do.
Exactly. Give yourself 30 minutes to clean your house and you'll clean it in 30 minutes. So I've written a song the night before, finished it at midnight, and then performed it the next day.
Oh, dang.
I actually did that on the Flow Show.
Shout out to the Flow Show.
It was a great experience, though, because it got me, though, sometimes you get those writer's block, right? And like I couldn't, sometimes like I had a couple of other songs prepped before that or written years before that I can just remember. But sometimes I need a little bit of that push.
Yeah.
So I would say, a 12 to 24 hour turnaround and I can probably do it.
Dang. What would you feel more comfortable with on the regular though?
More comfortable on the regular. Give me like a week or 2 weeks.
Okay. Which is still a pretty solid turnaround for like a new song. So
I feel like when I write a song, it can take me anywhere from like 30 minutes to like 3 hours to like, obviously you'll put it down, pick it up again.
Yeah.
But once I get the song down, I like to sing it multiple times. And then once it's as soon as you find the melody, the words just kind of, everything just fits like a puzzle piece. And it's like, okay, I'm good.
Hell yeah. No, I dig that. And, I actually, I did jump on Yield Spotify and check out some of your music. So you've got music on there going all the way back to 2024. So a little on the newer side as far as recorded stuff goes. But I got to say, while your track count isn't massive, your delivery is strong. And not even like just like oh, cool, like good. You have a really, really capable voice and you rip on your instruments. I mean, I was listening to Light My Own Way.
Yeah.
And from the start, you come in hot. You come in hot vocally, you come in hot on guitar, and it's such like an expressive song. It's very dynamic, it's very direct, but still like thought-provoking.
Thank you.
And when you get to the big part, like right in the middle of the third,
bridge.
It was so good. And that kind of remains true through all of your music.
Yeah.
But I was listening to your most recent track, Moments I'll Miss, which just came out in February of this year. And that's the first track recorded where you trade the trusty guitar for the piano.
Yeah.
But it was such
I have to pause you for a minute there. I do have incredible friends, and I think Gemini actually came on.
Oh, shout out to Gemini, yeah.
Gemini. Just a little side tangent real quick. Gemini was actually, okay, so I had gone to one of his shows and I had seen the way that he plays on the guitar, and I was like,
so
hey,
good.
Incredible, right? Incredible musician.
He has a showcase episode if you want to go see it.
Yes.
After this though.
He was just, able to freestyle, and I had self-taught piano and guitar. So I'm like, okay, I know basic chords. I can finger prick a song or two here and there, but I wanted to learn. And so I just reached out to him. I saw him at the show. We got each other's Instagrams. I asked him to teach me. And as he was kind of showing me some different things I could do, he was like, I mean, why don't I just come to the studio and help you? And so he actually plays on the recording.
You know what? That's so funny because knowing that now, that sounds exactly like that. I was wondering, I almost now, a little piece of me, I think, knew that because it felt so comfortable.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. Okay. Well, then I'll move the credit for the playing parts of it to him. But I still stand by everything I've said up to this point.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
But I do, like I said, I appreciate that you switched from guitar to piano for this track. And it was such a welcome change because it made everything feel like the room was a little bigger, if that makes sense. Like it did, like you were obviously, again, nailing it, but like that opening up, it gave it that like more like reverbed feel. It made everything feel more sustained. So it gave this different like foundation for your voice, and it gave it a new range to like show off another like ability essentially. So I thought it was a really cool, like, not contrast, but addition to the range of music that you already had available.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I try to describe the music that I write, I'm like, it's kind of an Adele twist with a little bit of like, because the songs that I've released is only like a small portion of all the songs that I've written.
Obviously.
So obviously. Like every musician. Yeah. But I'm excited that I'm like slowly showing different sides of my voice, and the style and the genre and the instrumentals definitely come into play there. Yeah. So
well, it helps too that since you've been doing it for so long, and since you've been like, I imagine you've written many things that you can perform now. You can sing like without having to like really put too much effort into it. And there is something to be said for taking the time to write music and then actively put it out in the world long before you ever record it. Not that there's anything wrong with recording a song before you put it out, but when you actually take the time to like take music outside and let the world experience it and adjust it in its ways, and you can adjust it, by the time you get to the studio, not only have you developed your own sound, but it's so prepared, it's so rehearsed, but it's been adjusted to the way of the world. By the time it gets recorded, you know exactly the impact moments. And then you can leave so much more room for like the other things to happen around it if you want to, or you can send it as is and you already know it's well received.
100%. Yeah. I have one song in particular that a lot of people have said, when are you going to record this and release this? It's called Take Your Hand. And that one, you know, because there's so many songs you could release, but you're like, which ones like obviously tell a story and kind of play into you know, what I want to present to people. And it's really cool, to your point, to see people's different reactions, the audience, and which certain parts. And so then when you perform it, or when you're recording it, it's as if you're performing it. And you know when to be softer, and when you know people are going to be like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and you have the opportunity to try different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
In like really like drastic approaches, because people don't have like a recorded version to go against, so they're just like, oh well, maybe that is just the version of the song, I didn't realize it. So by the time you sit down to record it, you can use any like version of it and be like, oh, I know. Or if you already have 2 or 3 versions, you can do a few, and you you're already like preloaded with like a summer version, a winter version. Like it just kind of gives you range.
Definitely. I played it with a full band and seeing what that's like with the drums, piano, bass, everything. And then I played it just by myself, me and a piano. And they both hit, but like it's cool to see the difference there.
Exactly. And pre-preparing your music with that in mind long before it's ever recorded just leaves so much room for the future as well. I am curious to know that out of all the music you have, what are some of your favorite tracks to perform?
Oh, that's a good question. So I think Light My Own Way is definitely a favorite, because it's more of my more powerful, self-empowering songs to sing, and it definitely gets very, you know, upbeat, like especially the bridge and that one part in the song. That one's a lot of fun to sing. Take Your Hand and Moments I'll Miss are also songs I enjoy singing, but for different reasons, because a lot of times, like sometimes I'll close my eyes when I sing, and it's just because I'm
Hendrix
really,
of you.
I'm very in the moment, and it's just me and the piano, and it's a song where I just get lost and I just get to like kind of fillet my heart open.
Mm-hmm.
And in moments I miss, especially, like I'll get into the falsetto head voice and just get to play around. And it feels, I don't know if angelic's the right word, but it just feels very
euphoric.
Cathartic.
Yeah.
Euphoric,
Yeah.
cathartic, all of those. So.
Fillet my heart might be that. You need to make that a sticker. And then make it a line in a song so that you can put the stickers out there.
I like that.
That is an interesting
good merch
one.
idea.
Yes. Now I want to take a moment, then I want to zoom out. I want to look at kind of more music as a whole. What are you listening to right now? What are you just taking in as a music consumer?
Another great question. I have been expanding my taste a little bit. I think I've always grown up listening to R&B, pop, and soul. But definitely getting a little bit more into like the indie and just I actually have a love for rock as well too, like pop rock. But I have bought some new record player, records. I bought some new records more in like the jazzy realm.
Oh,
and so I've been listening to more jazz music.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That is especially for like expanding into the realms of like R&B and such. A good understanding of jazz is kind of a secret weapon.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot that you can take from that. There's a lot of ways to turn the mood of the music by changing one element of it instead of making the whole song shift for it. And when you can lock in those elements of jazz, you can port it into anything and it just hits. So that is a cool realm to be going down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, before we move into the next part, this next question is probably the densest question in the interview. But
I'm ready.
Yeah. We talked about your experience with music, the actions, the reactions. But when it's just you and music one-on-one, what does music give back to you?
Music, when I listen to music, the music again that I've gravitated to, it has, growing up, been my lifeline in the sense of I didn't feel alone. And the same, I guess it's a good mirror of what I want to give and, kind of what I stand for is the same as how it's kind of healed me and been there for me. Music is connection. Music is community. It is healing and also allows you to sometimes get those emotions out where whether it's rage and sadness and like deep despair, not to be dramatic, but like if you don't have those ways to let those out and other outlets for those emotions, I have found that music was that outlet for me. And it has allowed me to express, understand, and heal through everything I've experienced in my life, the good and the bad, and given me such it's really hard to describe because sometimes I'll just like, if I am in an auditorium or a concert or whatnot, like I love feeling the bass and just feeling how it moves and vibrates. Music is such a beautiful thing and it is transcending cultures and generations. And the way that it can bring back memories with people with dementia. Like I remember doing a school project on that and was just amazed at the power of music. Yeah. It is truly a beautiful thing that is a huge, like, I don't even know how to describe it. I am so grateful for it. Yeah. Yes.
Well, it sounds like it's a huge impact on just the like general way of your life.
Yes.
It sounds like it's been an interest of yours since the start, and you clearly have not wavered from it because here you are still doing it now.
It's like a core part of who I am.
Very much so. Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to some hypothetical questions.
Okay.
Yeah, and for these, sky's the limits. The questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well.
Awesome.
But the first one is pretty straightforward. If you could work with any one person, the only requirement is they have to be alive. Who would you want to work with and how would you want to work with them?
Okay, the first person that comes to mind is Ariana Grande because she's an incredible vocalist. And being able to learn not only different like breathing techniques, how she stacks, like if you've ever watched those YouTube videos of how she stacks her layers and harmonies and all those vocals, like that takes so much skill. Like it's not just talent. I know she's worked at it.
Yeah.
If I could just learn from her and be in a studio and watch her like create a song and all of those vocal layers, that would be really incredible. And just learn from her as like a vocal coach. And when you listen to her songs, like there are so many characteristics too that just make it so unique of just watching her brain work of like how she hears something of, oh, that needs a this here, you know? Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'd want to know how she gets her hair in the up like that. How does she do that? Ariana, please come on the show just for that. Nothing else. No, that is a super solid one. Honestly, I think it'd be cool for you to do that and then swap it around, have her watch you work on a song and just be like, try this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, Ariana, if you're watching,
yes,
let's do it. And then subsequently, who's a local person that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to connect with yet, but you would like to?
I think it would be really fun to work with Alana Rich.
Oh, hell yeah.
We are friends, and we talked about working on a song together. Just with the female, like, it's so cool to be able to see just the local talent here. I mean, there's so many people that I could say too.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 people I could say, but being able to just see the way, like, and I've talked to her about her journey, and you're not an overnight success.
No.
It takes 5-10 years, and I truly have admired her journey as an artist and not straying from, the hard work. And I know she's told me how many times that she's been out there to perform and to develop that skill. And then the music she creates, like, it's so much intentionality behind it. So it would be really cool to work on a song with her and be able to perform with her, because I also love watching her perform. Yeah.
Well, everybody knows to add her in the comments. Let's make that happen. Also, Shane Taylor is part of the Brothers Apothecary.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure they're watching. For this next one, like I said before, sky's the limits, and it's pretty literal in this sense. But if you could perform anywhere in the world and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or building stability or power, it was guaranteed the best lineup, guaranteed the best show. And it doesn't have to be a venue. It could be anywhere. Where would you want to perform?
So, another side tangent. I actually performed in China.
Whoa.
In February.
That's cool.
Valentine's Day. Yeah.
What? Why? I mean, that's rad. I'm curious what led to that.
So I had put, and this is like a little side note for the people that are like, posting content and thinking, oh, nobody's going to see this. No matter how small, it's so important to stay consistent with what you're doing, because I was able to find this opportunity through an Ariana Grande cover.
Oh, cool.
If we can't be friends. I posted it on Instagram and Facebook just as a story. And a music teacher that I had briefly taken guitar lessons at, this Patrick Bradley. He has a Bradley School of Music in the Bay Area. He saw it and he was like, called me literally Monday night. And I was just like, so you're still doing music? Tell me more about that. What are you doing? What are you up to? And he's like, I'd love for you to apply and send an application in for this opportunity. I didn't know anything about it. And that was Monday. Friday I had made it to the top 6.
Whoa.
On Saturday I had gotten the gig.
That's cool.
And he's like, all right, so this is, we leave in 2 weeks and I'm going to China, Zhuhai, China. And I was like, all right. And it was for the Red Note Global Village Music Festival.
Whoa, that's awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Being able to perform in a different country in Asia, like craziest experience ever. So honestly, like if I could perform anywhere in the world, I don't think I have a specific location, but just being able to have the opportunity to share my music internationally, like anywhere international would probably be my answer.
Okay.
Because being able to see people connect, even if they all didn't speak English, but being able to see them connect with the emotion. You can hear music in different languages and still kind of have an idea of what it's about.
Yeah.
And also see it transcend, any political stuff, any language barriers, and still just being able to enjoy music and bring the community together. That was beautiful from that experience. Now that's kind of all I want to do is go travel and sing my music with not just myself, but also learn from other people's cultures and hear their music and watch them write a song and, us to collaborate on music together. It'd be beautiful.
Hell yeah. I love that. That's awesome. And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could get one more album from anybody, and they could be alive, they could be dead, they could have not put out an album in 100 years, they could have put out an album yesterday. Still totally acceptable. Who would you want an album from?
All right, I'm going to say Ariana Grande.
Hell yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to mind.
That's a valid answer. I'm ready for a new one from her as well.
Yeah, because she has so many also different genres.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the most recent, Love, Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Really relatable.
Hell yeah. All right. With that being said, we are going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. What can we look forward to in the next 6 months?
I am planning on releasing a small EP and a couple more singles.
Hell yeah.
Yes. So be on the lookout for that. Very excited about that. Working on some new music videos and some great stuff. Yeah, we're hopefully hoping to work with some new producers and new musicians as well. So you'll hopefully see another slice of a different side of me. So
Nice.
we've gotten the guitar, the acoustics, a couple more ballads, and then a couple of different ones.
Oh, exciting. Well, definitely looking forward to all of that. For this next one, go and look straight at your camera. Tell everybody how they can find you.
You guys can find me on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, and then on Instagram, _Taylor Alyssa with 2 A's at the end, _. And very excited to be here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Oh, like people I'd recommend to go check out?
I mean, yeah, just, anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah. Do I look at the camera?
Oh, yeah. Right here's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Shout out to all my friends and family that have supported me along the way and just believed in me that that my music, you can create music, right, for yourself and have it be, something that's healing for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But once I started seeing my music, other people really relate to it and say, I needed that, or I related to a different way. Because I might write a song about my mom and somebody can relate to that and think of their dad or their cousin or, whoever.
Yeah.
Truly seeing the impact of that was what kind of pushed me to really start releasing my music and saying, okay, if this can help just one person, that would be incredible.
Hell
yeah, shout out to all the friends and family that encouraged me to continue going and to, just put it out there and see what happens.
I love that. All right. With that being said, I've got one last question to go.
Okay.
But before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second. As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Well the Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation. But in all of music, what is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? So it's a bit of a deep cut. It's one not a lot of people would know. It's one you think everybody should know.
Oh, okay. So I actually went through a little bit of a country
Okay.
John or era.
All right, good start.
Yeah.
Good start. Let's see where this goes.
I can't remember the name of and I don't know if this is very obscure, but there was a Carrie Underwood album that really hit me to the core, and just all the songs on that album. I'm trying to remember some of the songs on there.
Was it the album with the Louisville Slugger song on it?
No,
the headlights.
not that one.
Is that Carrie Underwood?
It is the I'll drive my kid
that one.
Not that one. That was a great one.
That is one of my favorite country songs.
Oh, it is incredible.
Yeah.
She's an incredible singer as well. But I can't. Oh, I think I know. I can see it in my head. She's wearing a white dress and it's a black background. Little Toy Guns might have been. Oh gosh, I don't remember.
That is more than enough information. Somebody put it in the comments so we can know for sure what it is.
But, she just had a very it was just very empowering and also raw, real, all of the things that I love.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, that's a super solid rec. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, no problem.
With that being said, we are going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This has been fantastic.
Yeah. And this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Taylor Alyssa.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap. This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.